Hey, well, hey, pups. Did you bring me a ball so we could play? Did you bring us a ball so we could play? What if I do you one better? What if I tell you about Season 2 of Well Fed and some of my favorite memories? We'll take a stroll down memory lane together, and I can share with you. Because you know what they say about sharing? That's how pandemics start. It's come to my attention that as I shoot these wonderful videos for you fantastic viewers, I use a certain expression constantly. And I mean, like, to the point it's kind of become a catchphrase. Let's see if you guys can figure it out. Alright guys. Okay guys. Alright guys. Alright guys. Alright guys. Alright guys. Alright guys. Yeah. It's gotten so bad that Doctor had to pull this on me. Alright guys. You asshole! Hey! So, a lot of times when Doctor's behind the camera, he gives me direction in between takes, just, hey, what can we do to make this scene a little better? What can we do to make it pop? So, I remember distinctly when we were doing the macaroni and cheese. I was shooting the outro and he was like, hey, that delivery was a little bland, add some flavor, give us some flavor to it. So flavor it I did. Alright guys, so that's how you cilantro, parsley, and pepper. I'm adding flavor. I hate you right now. One of the side effects, or perks, depending on your perspective, of shooting a video game-themed cooking show is that means I have to play a lot of games. And a lot of them I'll play with friends. Case in point, I was playing Warframe with Dr. Batman. And so, in between takes, he was kind of getting on my case that I wasn't helping on a certain mission. And, I mean, it's not my fault. I had a good excuse. Oh, I have a good excuse. God, when Dr. Batman's behind the camera, he can be a slave driver. I mean, he, just take after take after take after take until it's perfect. And it gets frustrating. I mean, take our macaroni and cheese. It was delicious. And he was taunting me because I'm holding it right next to my head on a plate, and I really, really just wanted to eat it. Alright guys, so that's how you make a fantastic alola. God, quit it! I want to eat this, I'm hungry, and I'm tired, and I need food! So as I said, Doctor and Esther are my film crew. And it's awesome because they're, by schooling, by trade, they're film folk. They know what they're doing. I just smile and nod. I sit in front of the camera and I spout words out of my mouth hole, much like I'm doing right now. But occasionally, I'll make comment or I'll say something about cinematography, and I'll usually get met with a blank stare. I mean, it would be like walking into NASA and saying, hey, the moon is made of schnitzel. And then just kind of stare at you. And they're like, no, it's not. It's made of rock and radiation and moon stuff. But there was one time during our fruit compote video, I said something, and darn it, I was right. Hey Duncan, what was that you were saying? No, I'm not. Shut up. No.
That was right.
One thing I genuinely love that I've started doing is prepping all the ingredients before we shoot. Because otherwise, you guys just have to sit there and watch me, measure things out into little cups, and it just gets boring. And some of these dishes have a lot of ingredients. And others don't, much like our awesome chocolate mousse. How many ingredients did I have again? Only 1 to proceed to 2, and then immediately to 3. Never 4. 5 would be silly and is therefore out of the question. You will need 3 ingredients. So one thing I do try to hide from you guys is whenever I don't know something, I'll typically cut and look it up. But one thing I never want to admit is that sometimes I just guess. I am guessing, clearly.
Go ahead.
Are we rolling? So as much as we try, not everything turns out perfectly. Little mishaps happen, like mid-scene, And usually that just means we have to do a hard reset on the scene, which 9 times out of 10 is fine. But sometimes it's just frustrating when, like, we put forth all this effort and something goes wrong.
Yeah, we're good.
How's it? How's the angle? So, one of the big experiences working with Eshi and Doctor is, again, they're both film people, so they both have different, viewpoints. But sometimes when I get them together in the same room, they butt heads, and someone's got to play the mediator. Stop fighting! You're tearing this video apart! So, like I said earlier, those are some of my favorite moments of Season 2 so far. Bear in mind, it's only half over. We still have a whole nother half season to give you guys. And just wait until Season 3. That's when it's going to get crazy. I mean, like, you have no idea. I'm Dapper Jef. Tune in next week, and I hope you guys have stayed well fed. Why am I?
Only the person who has Hulk hands may speak.